Today was the day I decided I am no longer driving with my husband to his family functions, parties, events. Today was his cousin's 36th birthday party and she sent a group text inviting everyone. Party started at 4 and we arrived at 4:15. We have a baby who is a few months shy of turning 2. With that being said, she typically starts winding down for bed around 6:30 p.m. We're in bed by 7:30 p.m. and she's out around 8 p.m. My husband is in the military and he's been home for about a month now from training school. So he's not used to our routine, but he is in the know as I am the one that does all of the bedtime routine, dinner and snack, bath, diaper, pajamas, nursing to sleep. My husband has never wanted to partake in doing this as he thinks it is too much work, so he's usually watching TV and will come to tuck us in right before I put baby to sleep. Around 6:30 I told my husband we would have to start getting ready to leave for bedtime. He refused and said we needed to stay for at least 4 hours. 8:30 rolls around and he's still not ready to leave. Baby is tired, she is crying and she's nursing, which also upsets husband. Baby is clearly ready to go home. My husband then proceeds to tell me that I can find a ride home. I text a friend, but she's unable to pick us up as her husband works overnights and her 2 babies just fell asleep, so she can't leave them. I then tell my husband he needs to find a ride home and I'm driving my car home. I say goodbye to everyone and let them know it's past bedtime, so we need to get going. Husband walks me to my car and as I'm getting in the car and we're away from the party he tells me I'm an a-plea for ditching him and leaving him to find a ride home. Am I the a-hole for ditching my husband and forcing him to find a ride home? Not the a-hole, what in the? Honey, you've got bigger problems there than just a car. I have several friends who are, or mostly we're, military spouses. There's a huge issue with some men who come back from deployment to their families that there isn't a lot of help for. Being deployed is basically living a very hectic and stressful bachelor life. You bond with your brothers and sisters in arms. You work hard. And your free time is your own. And it's hard to adjust to family man when they come home. My coworker and her husband have been married 35 years, but is returned from his second deployment after kids almost ended their marriage. After the second or third time in the week that he didn't come home to play cards or grab a drink with the boys from work, she sat him down calmly the next day and said she signed on to be a single parent when he was deployed, but not when he was home. So if he wanted to keep his family intact, he needed to be a family when he was home. It probably helped that she was military too until their kids were born, so she knew how to speak to him. Good luck, mama. I hope he figures out how to be a partner and father when he's home. Not the a-hole, this all sounds very unhealthy. He doesn't help out and won't let you keep to the baby's schedule. Has he been deployed or lived elsewhere most of the baby's life? Have they bonded? Did his family seem to think his behavior is normal? I think I'd take advantage of some therapy to try to get on the same page and have him involved in parenting. Not the a-hole. You did your job as a parent that was taking care of your child. Based on the way you framed your question, is this the first time something like this has happened? Also, your husband needs to start helping with taking care of the baby and start taking on responsibility as a father. You did not ditch him, he ditched you. You do not have a baby if you aren't ready for the responsibilities and sacrifices that follow. This last line is for your husband, not you. My husband is an avid computer gamer, mostly World of Warcraft type games. Approximately 5 nights of the week, he'll play games online from the time that our son goes to bed at 8 o'clock or 8:30 to about 12:30, so at least 4 continuous hours. That in itself is not at all an issue for our relationship. He spends plenty of time with me and our son, and I have my own hobbies that he isn't interested in that I engage in when he's online. A few nights ago I was doing laundry while he was playing online and I stepped on a toy that my son had left on the basement stairs. I fell pretty hard and dropped the basket. Luckily, because of the way my weight was shifted, I fell backwards rather than forwards, resulting in a bruise on my butt, but I was otherwise fine. The laundry basket clattered down the stairs, ricocheted off some basement furniture, shot laundry everywhere. It was a huge racket. It woke up my son. My husband, who had his headphones on, heard literally nothing. It dawned on me that, if something really bad happened to me, my husband wouldn't know about it for potentially 4 hours. Like, what if I broke my leg falling down the stairs? So I asked if he would be willing, for my peace of mind, to just pop out of his office at the midpoint each night, just to check on me. Like literally, just say hi, and go back to gaming. He thinks this is a huge overreaction and a waste of time. I know for a fact that he isn't actively playing the entire time, and he sometimes takes breaks to go to the bathroom, or get a snack, or whatever, so how is this different? Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole, my SO is a gamer similar to yours, and in between games he has always came to check on me, kiss me etc. He has always done this from when we were dating to now living together. I think it's really important not only to check up on you, but to let you know he is thinking of you, or maybe I have gotten used to it. I'd say, not the a-hole, just because he thinks she's overreacting, and, from what I understood, he won't do it. Fine if he thinks it's silly, but when you're in a relationship you sometimes have to do silly harmless things for the comfort of your partner. Not the a-hole. I don't know much about World of Warcraft, but every game has some kind of breaking point in it that leaves time to go and do little things, like going to the bathroom. All you're asking for is some peace of mind that he, as your husband, should be happy to do for you. Agreed. If he is busy for that long each night, it's not a big request that he checks in from time to time. My great-grandma fell in her kitchen and shattered her hip. She lay there, unable to move for 3 hours. Why? Because my great-grandpa was a bit of a duck. He used to turn off his hearing aids so that he didn't have to listen to his wife, who was the most submissive, not chatty woman. He was sitting just 15 feet away from her, watching TV with his hearing aids off. She only got help when he got up to get a beer. A request that he check in might seem crazy to your SO right now. But there are a lot of situations where you might need to get his help in an emergency. A delay is acceptable when someone is away at work or the like. But at home, that's a different story. What if your son was choking or insanely sick and you needed him? He needs to be able to hear you call for help or check in. His choice. We were at a local restaurant last Saturday evening. This is a locally owned establishment, not a chain. There was a 30-45 minute wait for tables. There was another family waiting in the wait area, and the mom went to the bar and came back with 3 drinks. A beer for dad and a margarita for her and one of the young women. There was another young woman there who looked of college age and had on a college sorority t-shirt, but no drink was brought for her. But as I watched I noticed that the mom was sharing her margarita with a 4th girl, who I assumed was under 21 as she had no drink of her own. In fact, I'd guess the 4th girl consumed most of the mom's margarita. I mentioned this to my husband and he said so what, forget it. Full disclosure that I'm a non-drinker myself and certainly don't approve of underage drinking, not to mention that this behavior might put the restaurant at risk. So I mentioned it to the hostess. A short time later a manager, I assume, came and asked to see the girl's IDs. The girl with her own drink produced one. The second girl who had been drinking from mom's drink did not. I did not hear the exchange, but the family left thereafter. I assume they were asked to do so. My husband said that it was a crappy thing for me to do. I feel like I was protecting the restaurant. Was I the a-hole? You're the a-hole. You weren't protecting the restaurant. You were being a self-righteous, self-satisfied busybody. She also mentioned the wait time, so I think she was doing it to get these people kicked out so she could get a seat earlier. Didn't give a damn about the restaurant. Definitely the a-hole. This could not be any more true. You're the a-hole, like, such an a-hole, OP. When I was between 18-20, my parents would let me have a little of their drinks at restaurants sometimes and would allow me to drink responsibly at home and would never let me drive after. This is just so unbelievably self-righteous. You're the a-hole, she's clearly old enough to choose and she's with her parents. Your view of underage drinking is skewed by the law. This relates to a story my dearly departed Uncle John once told me. When I was like 13, he let me have a beer. I hardly was into it, I just appreciated the respect I got. Plus we were camping with family, and he told me, Matthew, in this country, at 18 years old, you can smoke and give yourself lung cancer, you can take out a loan that'll haunt your ass for life, and you can go overseas in the good name of Uncle Sam and put people in a grave with a fully automatic weapon and be a hero. But if you come home, God forbid you touch a drop of whiskey, your ass is gonna be put in the slammer and that's nonsense. And that sticks with me. I agree. You're the a-hole. You're the a-hole. Mind your own business. How closely are you paying attention to a perfect stranger that you even notice this?